So here are some series that I felt only got better and some series that I felt only got worse. Starting off with the worst, we're just gonna rip the band-aid off. It's the Inheritance Games. I really loved this first book. I thought this first book was so good, and I really loved the characters. I loved the world that was built. I loved the story. I loved the mystery. And then the second book just did not compare. It was just not that great. I have tried to read it so many times. The third time was not the charm, and I have just given up on this series. It's a no from me. The next one is another one that I gave up on, and that is The House of Night Books. I gave these a very good try. I think I've stopped on like book 9 and I was just done with it. It just dragged on. There really wasn't any understanding to what was happening. It just felt like things were just kind of being tossed in just to be tossed in. I gave up on the series. I would not continue this series. I think the first couple were good and it just went downhill really quickly. The last one that I don't have the book of, and it's another series that I just gave up on, and that is Filthy Rich Vampire. This was another one where I thought the first book was just so good and I was diving right into the second book. I thought the second book was like okay, and then the third book just lost me. I was just done. I was like, okay, no more, we're done with this. It just felt poorly plotted and I just no longer cared for the world or the characters. Last series, this one I did not give up on. I read all of them and I really loved the first one, and it makes me so sad that it just got worse, and that is The Crescent City. I love this book. I felt that this would have made a great standalone. I absolutely loved and adored this one. The second one was okay. It wasn't as good as this one, but I didn't feel that it was just like awful. But then the third book, everything in it, I was just like, really? That's it? That? And I was just so disappointed, but it did get worse. So let's get on a happier note. The first series that I felt only got better, and that is The Cruel Prince, or The Folk of the Air. I adore this book. I adore all of the books in it. This was like one of the first fantasy books that I remember just like picking up this one and immediately getting into the second and then immediately getting into the third. I was just cruising through them. They were so good. I know some people say that this book is a bit slow, and that's like true, but I feel like with everybody telling me it was going to be really slow and like you just have to get through it, it felt like it was exaggerated. And I felt that like sure the beginning was just like your normal world building, and then it picked up pretty quickly halfway through. These were so good. I loved these. The next one, and that is Vampire Academy. I love these books. I have reread them like almost every single year. These are just like a comfort read at this point. The world in it I felt was like plotted so well. I remember reading these for the first time and just like with Cruel Prince, cruising through them. I love the characters, I love the world. I felt that like everything just went so nicely together, that it all just fit, it all made sense, and it was just, I had a wonderful time reading these. And then the last one, this is one that I have not finished yet. I'm in the middle of the third book, and the fourth book isn't out yet. But I feel pretty confident saying that this one has only gotten better, and that is Spark of the Everflame. Again, just like with the other two, this is one where it was like I finished this one and immediately started the second. I feel like this is one of those fantasy books where the world is just written so beautifully. You can immediately like envision everything that's happening in the world, feeling that connection to like the world that's being set up, and like feeling the anger and the joy with the characters themselves. And I love when I can connect with like a series like that. So this is another amazing one.